Morning everyone, my name is Laura Stranks and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Thanks for joining me today. I know a lot of you are new to my channel, so thanks for subscribing. If you know of any friends, I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, so I'd love to get to the 1,000 before Christmas sometime. And thanks for joining me if you are on here for the first time. Just a couple of things to mention before I start. I've got a Facebook group, Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials. Big group now. I've had lots of people join all over the world. Friends with a lot of them, and lovely to see the group growing. My channel, my YouTube channel is called Creative Gems. If you're not familiar with that, you would have found it when you joined up or when you subscribed. If you hit when you subscribe, there's a little bell that comes up. If you hit the little bell, that will notify you each time I do a video. So do that and you'll know when I go on. It's usually 9 a.m. Brisbane, Queensland, Australia time on a Monday morning. So that's when my videos go up. I also have a Facebook page where I post all of my cards that I do through my workshops and classes here. And that's called Cards by Laura. The Facebook group, all the PDFs for my YouTube videos, and I also do some lives in this Facebook group now. I've started up doing some live videos as I've had a few requests for different types of cards. So if you join in there, you'll find a lot more to have a look at. It's in the files section in the group. That's all the business side of it. I hope you enjoy what I'm going to do today. It's called a pop-up explosion card, and I'll just show you how it works. I've done a belly band on it to keep it together because it's a little bit thick when you it doesn't stay shut properly, so we do a belly band on this, and it just opens up like this, and it's just called an explosion card. This little piece in the center here, I've done it a bit different to this one. I've put the little mechanism piece in underneath the DSP, the one I'm doing today, so that way it doesn't show, but you can't see it when you're looking. It stands up straight like so. Very nice to sit up on your shelf. Not a lot of decoration on the inside because you need it to fold inwards. I've just put a little couple of little detail pieces on the front. Got plenty of room on the back to write your greeting or your wording, and that's how it works. And we will get started. I'll just leave that open so I can show you as we go. As usual, I've typed up all my measurements, and I've also got a lot of it prepped. So I'll go through the pieces with you. This will be in the description of the video today in the section there, so you've got the measurements there, and also it'll be in the PDF on my tips and tutorials page. So the full PDF will be in there with the instructions and all, and the measurements and scoring. So we shall start with the base. There's sort of two bases, one of the outside colour and then the inside colour. I've chosen to do white on the inside again. It makes the DSP pop a little bit there. This piece here is the outside base. It's 10 inches by 6 inches, and I'll show you how to score that in a sec. Then we have the inside base. Where do I put it? Where did I put it? Here it is. It's white on my desk. This measures 10 by 5. You can do it in the same colour as your base if you wish, or in a different colour. I've chosen the white again so it'll pop a little bit, but you can choose a different colour. Depending on your DSP, you can match it up with one of the colours in that. My inside the back panels, which is in here, down in this one, I've got put those that side. Just lost my one piece. I've chosen just the subtle colour in these. That's the front. There's 4 of these. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. They're in Berry Burst, and it's sort of a muted colour, a bit mottled. so you can at least see it in the back. We'll put them all the same way when we put them in there with the white piece at the top. That's these ones here, 2 1/4 by 5 3/4, and there's 4 of those. The DSP for the triangles, we've got 2 lots, 2 sizes in the triangles. I've cut most of them. You've got 2 of these. They're 3 by 3, and I'm going to cut it on the diagonal. I've already cut one. Wherever I put, oh, it's there. And also you need the smaller triangles. The larger ones are these 1, 2, 3, 4, which you need 2 in your cut triangles. And then these ones here, you need 4 of the smaller ones, and they measure 2 by 2. And I've already cut 3 of those. I'll show you how to cut the fourth one. I've cut 3, yes. DSP panels at the front. I've got a different design on the front. I'm going to do a baby card today. I do market stalls regularly every month, and I'm running out of baby cards, so I thought I might do a baby card today. I don't do them very often. The front pieces are this striped panel, front DSP, 2 1/4 by 5 3/4. They're the same as these back ones inside. There's no mats against these, so it'll make it too thick otherwise. That's those 2. And then the back white panels, that's these ones here. I'm going to put them like that. I've got 2 little strips down the side. They measure the same again, 2 1/4 by 5 3/4. And I've got here, you can do just one white one if you like, and then a panel of DSP if you like, either that pattern or the other pattern, just to match it up like that if you don't want it both white. I've chosen 2 white ones. And then the strips on the back, I've already glued them on. They're going to go like that. They measure 5 3/4 by 1/2 inch, and there's 2 of those. And then my little floating mechanism inside the greeting in the middle there, that measures 3 inches by 1 inch, and I'll show you how to score that in a moment. And then my belly band is 11 inches by 1 inch. That's that one there. And the DSP that's going on the front, it's 4 3/4 by 7/8. And I'll show you how to do the belly band when we get to it. A bit of scrap cardstock for your greeting and your decorations. And I've got my greeting decorations all in here in my little tub, and I'll put those on at the end. And then I've got some embellishments. The paper I've chosen is out of, this is all Stampin' Up! Products, Bright and Beautiful Designer Series paper. Really pretty fun pack. I didn't get the, I think there's a bundle that goes with it, stamp set and dies, but I didn't get that. I've only got the paper. And also the embellishments I'm using are iridescent rhinestones, which are these ones here. Just nice and subtle. They come out pinkish. Really pretty colours. Depending on what colour you're looking at, I think they come out. So that's all your pieces that you need. Now we'll get started. The first piece is the back, your main card base. Leave all that over there. Now, there's a couple of different ways of scoring this, and I'm going to show you the way I prefer. I did do it a different way last time, and it didn't line up properly in the middle, so I'm finding it's better this way. Score it in half first. I'll move that down a bit so you can see. So it's 10 inches long, so I'm going to score at 5 1/2. Just get that one out of the road. And then this one here is 2 1/2. It's in quarters, so we want 2 1/2 is there. That gives you half of the half, and then flip it over 180 degrees and go another 2 1/2. I find you can go 2 1/2, 5, 7 1/2, but I found when I folded it, these folds were not exactly even. This way, if you do 2 1/2 on each end, it comes out even. And I'll fold that in a sec. Now we'll do the other one as well, and it's the exact same scoring, but it's narrower this way. It's 5 inches instead of 6 inches. So we'll do the same with this one in half at 5 inches. and then 2.5 here. 2.5, Laura, not 2.25. 2.5 there, and 2.5 here. And this one, I think it's this one, I'm going to score it down this side again. I flipped it over, and I'm going to score that middle one down 5 inches again. It needs a bit of back and forth, so just give it an extra score down the centre. Put that aside. I'll score the little mechanism piece as well while we're at it, so it's all ready. And this one, it's 3 inches long. Yes, 3 by 1. So we're going to go 1/2 inch. I'll do the 1/2 inch on this side, so you've got more evenness at the top there to keep it straight. And then 1 inch, move it across a fraction, and then 2 inches. So we'll turn it around because 2 inches is, there's more length up this way. 2 inches and 2.5. So they're sort of 1/2 inches on each side of the centerpiece, and we'll show you how to fold. So you've got a 1/2 inch and a 1/2 inch and a 1/2 inch on 2 sides. I'll show you that a little bit later. Now we shall get started. So you're going to fold this, and it's going to go, the centerpiece is going to go backwards into a mountain fold on this side. I'll just get my bone folder, straighten my mat, and these come in as a valley fold. So fold that, and they should end up nice and straight down that edge, which that one is. And the same with this one, fold it inwards. So you've sort of got a long rectangle piece, and that's nice and even down that edge. I find scoring from each end separately and not going all the way across, it's much better. So it'll go this way with your centre one coming up as a mountain and the 2 outside ones as valleys. So that's those. Now we can put the DSP on those before, yes, they can go on. I'm thinking of the little mechanism piece, but it's underneath the triangles, not the main pieces. So these 4 are going to go on here. You need to put these on before you do your the main piece at the top. We'll just get our silicone mat up here and our liquid glue. I'll do the liquid glue for convenience. I lots of times use tape. I think it gives you a little bit more stick than the liquid glue. But this will be, liquid glue is much faster. Some of my girls at my classes don't like the liquid glue. They think it's too messy, but it's not if you're careful. Don't put it everywhere. The second one, I didn't glue any of these on to start because I wanted to show you the scoring. Just make sure you score nice and even so it ends up nice and straight in the middle. I'm a bit fussy when it comes to making sure things are straight. Occasionally they end up crooked and you can't move it, so it stays that way. But that's the other beauty of using liquid glue, that you've got that little bit of room to move it around if you need to. This is a nice contrast. It's quite bright for a baby card, but you'll see when I show you the decorations, it's probably more for a young kid that is going to grow up nice and bubbly. I'm at an age where I don't have much with little babies anymore. Both my children have grown up and married. I've got 4 grandchildren, so they're all grown up as well. Time's going too fast. We're in August already. I don't know if any of you, if you're demonstrators for Stampin' Up, you would have seen the new mini catalogue with all the lovely Christmas stuff in it. I've done a couple of orders so far. That's those pieces. Now we can put these front pieces on as well, and the back pieces while we're at it. Get all those out of the road. The longest bit is gluing the all the little triangles, but it's not too bad. I'm going to a card class in a week or so. I normally just host classes myself and don't get to go to too many, but I'm looking forward to going to one for a change and let someone else do all the prep and all the work, and I just sit there and put it together. Something different. This is such a bright paper, really pretty. I've used quite a bit of it. I've got a couple of packs because I used it for a workshop. When you do a workshop, I don't normally like 6x6 paper because you don't get enough out of it. You have to buy so many packs to get. I do workshops here and I have anything up to 12 to 15 ladies through the two. I do it over 2 days, 2 different days, and you have to buy a lot more packs to get enough out of it because they're such small pieces. When I do a card, I make sure it's no higher than 6 inches so I can use the 6x6 DSP. If you've got something bigger, you've got to go to the 12x12 paper. There wasn't a lot of, I don't think I saw any 6x6 in the mini catalogue. I haven't had a good look yet. I've only ordered what I wanted. But I'm going to go this one on the outside. Most of them are 12x12, I think, in the mini, from memory. All the ones I've ordered have been. Some lovely Christmas paper in there. And I'm a traditional red and green, traditional Christmas. I don't do a lot of blues and stuff. I'll do stars and things, but not so much snow, because we don't have snow here in Australia. Well, not where I live anyway. We have a bit of frost and stuff and a bit of cool weather, but no snow. So I tend to not do snow cards, even though they do look nice. So that's the base of it. Now we'll score this other white piece. Well, we scored it actually. We'll fold it the same way. Actually, I won't fold it just yet. I'll do the other bit of scoring on it. You've got to score on the diagonal this time. So we're going to look at as if we've got 2 squares. So this here is 5x5 and this over here is 5x5. So you're going to work as it is as if it's 2 squares. So you're going to put your corner of your white piece in the track there, and then the other, when you can see it, I might just put a little pencil mark on there so we can see, because it's hard to see on the white. That's the score line there in the center. So we're going to score from that point there over to this center score line here. So if you line up your track on those 2 pieces, drop it down, make sure your cutting blade is out of the road. I think I mentioned a few times my 2 blades, that's my scoring and this is my cutting, and I always have my cutting blade below my scoring blade so that when I'm scoring, if it's up here, I tend to pull that one first. This one I can put right down out of the road and it's not going to cut instead of score. Wouldn't be the first time I've done that. And then you go, oh dear, I messed that up because I've cut it instead of scoring. So then we're going from the top center score line here down to this corner here. So you're virtually making a cross in the center of that square, and then you're going to do the same over this on this square. Go from that pencil there, I can rub the pencil marks out shortly, and across to there, to the corner. And then from this corner down to the center score line there, put it in the tracks and score. So you've got 2 crosses onto 5-inch squares. That's all we need on that. And I'll just get my rubber. It's not in there. It's here. We'll just rub out those couple of pencil marks. Now we can fold. Your horizontal up and down score lines are in mountains. That way. Burnish those. And that one there, up and down. And the centre one goes up. Well, the centre one's going to end up flat, but we'll turn it that way for convenience now. And then these are all going, the diagonal ones are going to go vertical, valley folds, and make sure that they're nice and even along the edges there when you burnish those. And the same with this one, fold it across. If you're scoring, if you did your starts in the track evenly, you won't have a problem. So that's that side, and the same with this side into valleys, like so. I'll move that out of the road. And this one. So that's pretty easy to start with. Not a lot of detail in that, as long as they're nice and straight. And this should just fall into place. If you just maneuver this, we've got valley, 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 valley. It's just a matter of pinching it here, and it will go in like that. And we've got perfect scoring for this one, which is nice to see when you're doing a video. Just burnish all those pieces again. And we can decorate this before we put it in the centre. So the biggest squares, I've still got 2 to cut. I've cut all my little ones and my other big one big one. That's all those. This one here, we'll just put that aside. And we're going to cut from that point to that point, just on the diagonal. This is a 3-inch square piece. I think it was 3 inches, yes, 3 inches. Now when you cut designer series paper, DSP, I recommend you don't start at the point, especially if your blade's not as sharp as you'd like. If it's not a new blade, it will tend to drag this corner if you start on a point. So we'll put that up there. I start with my cutter in the centre and I go up and down. That way you're not dragging from the point. Even if you're doing a couple of pieces together, you could do I could have done all of the, or two and two together. And this one here, start in the middle and up and down. That way you don't drag your corners and tear it where it shouldn't be pulled. So we've got 4 of the bigger ones now. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8 of the little ones. We had 4 of those cut in half. And we shall put all of these on. Now before I put these centre ones on, we shall do this little mechanism. So it's already scored 1/2 inch on 2 ends, where I showed you before. And we're just going to fold it. I've got the thing here. We're going to fold in a valley and a mountain, and a mountain and a valley. So it ends up like so. Wait till I burnish that and I'll show you. So your back 2 pieces, these will get adhered underneath your DSP, those 2 little pieces there, and this piece here will have your greeting on the top, and it's just a little hinge that goes up and down like that. So we can put that in the centre. Actually, I'll put it on after. I'll do all these smaller triangles and the outside triangles first, and we shall put this in, and then we'll put the mechanism in, because you'd like to get it nice and straight. I'm a bit all over the place here, but you'll get it in a minute while I'll just leave those 2 centre pieces aside. You can put the the little mechanism piece on, get that the right way, put the little mechanism piece on the find the score line there, move it up a bit. You can put it on the top of the DSP, but I find it's more neat if you do it underneath. I'm just trying to see. The background's a bit whitish and so is the DSP. Try and get these nice and straight. They've got a little 1/8 inch border all the way around. We'll leave that centre one. Put this one over here. We're starting to get beautiful weather here. We're in mid-August and the days, some of the days are forecast up to 27 degrees, which is close to summer weather, but we've got spring to go yet, so might be a long hot summer. So that's those two, and then all these little ones get in the centres, the other smaller sections. My little well, it's not so little anymore, like my group Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials. I've had so many requests to join. I'm loving it. Trying to get to answer a lot of people's questions. I've had a few requests to do specific sort of cards, an eclipse card, a couple of fancy fold cards that people have seen, and I've done them before. So I do my live videos on a Sunday, normally on a Sunday. One I did on a Saturday because I had a workshop on the Sunday. So, but normally it'll be on a Sunday. I may increase it to 2 a week. Depends how many requests I get. I've had a few requests to get some different type cards, so I'm happy to do that. And I love doing the lives because I can actually talk to people as I go. These ones that I do on my YouTube are recorded and then I upload them, only because it fits in better with me than Monday mornings at 9 AM. I could change the time, but I've stuck with this for over a year now, so it works for me. I can record any time. And if you've still got any comments or questions, put them in there, and I shall, as soon as I watch the replay, I shall answer your questions or your comments. So that's that side. And then we've got this side. I haven't worried about which direction those go in. They have got a bit of a direction on, but it's just a mismatched pattern anyway, so it looks nice and bright. I could have lined them up a bit better, but not a problem. This card is not for anyone in particular. It's it'll go on my stand. I had a market stall the other week and I sold lots of cards. I had some fancy fold ones as well. I should have got to wipe out my mat's getting quite a bit of glue on it here. Just get one of my wipes to clean it off a bit. And then I shall flip it over so it's not wet. That's the beauty of this silicone mat. It doesn't get glue all over your workspace. I've always got it in front of me when I'm gluing. Not sure how many of you buy Stampin' Up products, but I love their products. It's the only thing I use. I don't buy. Occasionally I'll buy an adhesive or a tape or something that's not Stampin' Up, but 99.9% of the time it's Stampin' Up products for me. I love the way they've coordinated all their products and their papers with their colours, their cardstock colours, everything coordinates, so it's easy to choose what cardstock you want to put with what paper. Just look on the backs of the DSP, you'll find the colours and match up your cardstock colours to go with them. So that's all of those pieces. That will still go. It just takes a little bit of manoeuvring in like that. Now we're going to adhere this centre mat down first. We'll just put those aside for a sec. And this is the centre here. So all of this square, which is a diamond now, will get adhered down into the centre of this, just like this. And you're going to line it up with about the same space, top and bottom here, and down that score line. So you can glue up, and I do recommend your liquid glue on this, so you've got a little bit of wiggle room to get it straight. Putting quite a bit on so it stays stuck, not right close to the edges. That should hold it. Just getting this in the right spot. So I'm just lining it up there and there. With the score lines so that the points are right on the score line and about even top and bottom. And you should end up with it just inside that score line on the sides here. So that will still close shut like so. Give that a good press down till it's stuck. And the top section, I'm just going to do one side at a time. Just make sure that's all stuck first. So I'm going to put glue on this section here and close it shut. Almost done except for the decoration. So just bring that across and make sure, you might have to adjust a little bit. Make sure that that side strip down there is level or just inside your side, the base piece, because you don't want the white hanging out. If you pull it flat like that, it's just inside that base pink piece. I'd suggest you lie it flat because that will pull it in a little bit. So that's that side, and then the same with this side. Put the glue on this section. Fairly simple card to do, but the explosion part is the best bit. And this piece here, I'm going to pull it across like so, so it's just inside that pink. You don't want it hanging out over the edge. It doesn't look finished otherwise. Lay it flat and pull it down a little. Keep it nice and straight. Move that down a little bit. The beauty of the liquid glue, you can move it if it's not right. If you use tape on there, you would not get it up. A good way of, if you do use tape on anything and you want to get it up and it's not, because it's not right, heat it up with your heat gun. You can do it with tape or your snail, not liquid glue. It still tears with liquid glue, but yeah, just lightly heat it up and gradually lift it, and that will lift your tape without tearing it too much. Now this little piece here, I'm going to put glue on those two little tabs at the back, not the flat one at the front. And if you fold it open like that, move that up there, and we'll put some glue on that side. You could put tape on this piece as well, but I want to make sure I get it in the center. And then just holding it shut like so, I'm going to sort of eyeball it in the middle, and the two joins down the center will be on your score line. So it's in the center. It's probably a little bit high there. That's not too bad. Doesn't have to be exact here. So it still sponges up. Make sure that that is in the center. like so. I don't know if you can see that in there. I won't pull it just yet because it's not quite stuck. And then I have a greeting. I'll put the greeting on after. We'll put these other two panels in underneath. So you just slide these underneath that top section and it covers the base piece. Looks a lot tidier than having it on top. I did a cube box the other week, and it had a little mechanism thing in to hold the greeting as well, because it went in under the DSP, like pretty much the same as this. I think it was in two pieces, the mechanism on that one. So that one will go in there. It's easy enough to slide in under. And this one under here. I haven't put any decoration on the side pieces. You could put something flat if you want to. I wouldn't put embellishments in here. It might thicken it up a bit too much. Slide that in under there. And that's the inside done, except for the greeting. Well, it's not a greeting. I'll show you what I've chosen for this one in a minute. And it fits perfect at the front. It's even better than the last one. It's nice when something goes right. Now, my little cup of over here. So I've got a greeting for the front of this one, but this one I've chosen, and I'll leave the little starry bits in there so I don't lose them. It's from Little Dreamers stamp set and dies, and I've chosen this one here with the star on it because I've got some stars to decorate the front as well, and there is star patterns in that DSP as well. And I've also got congratulations on your new little one. And then I cut out some little stars as well. So this is going to sit in here. I could have made the mechanism a little bit narrower, but we might decorate with, you can't see it too much. Could have been a little bit wider. So I'm just going to put glue on the top of that. If you have a greeting, make sure it's a bit wider than your mechanism. I'll just put that in the centre. It's only got a couple of little bits showing at the sides. Actually, I need to move that down a little bit so that that doesn't catch on there. That's better. Just make sure nothing catches when you... And I've got some stars to decorate. So that's it on the inside. He sits up nicely in there. Just a cute little surprise when you open it. Then this one's going on my belly band. We shall do the belly band now, and then we're done. So this one, as usual, I join at the front and then cover it with DSP, and that way it's nice and even at the back. Just centre that pretty much in there. I'll move that out of the road. Just lie it in the centre. Bring that across, not super tight, just bend it gently and line that up like that. And you want it so it will move up and down. We'll just give it a test run. It's a little bit tight at the moment when we put the tape on. This is where I do use tape because you don't want this popping open. And I need it to adhere straight away. So one's going to go on the underside. I'll just tear that freehand. And one on the top side, on the other side of your belly band. Just two little pieces. Give them a bit of a burnish so that they stick. And this is where I'm going to make sure I don't pull it too tight. Take the backing off those. and just loosely hold it across, not too tight. Make sure that's straight, and make sure it's lined up at the sides, up the top and the bottom here, so it's, you won't see the join anyway. And that's going to go up and down in a sec once you've manoeuvred it a bit. A little bit tight, it's fine. Once you've moved it a few times, it'll be fine. Perfect. And then I just decorated, I'm going to put that side up so it's a bit of a contrast. It'll match the inside. I'll get it nice and straight on there, and I'm going to put tape on that as well because of the bend in that. I think glue will show the bend too much, so I'm going to put tape on this, just a couple of strips. Actually, I might put 3 strips. Go right to the edge. 2 probably would have been enough, but I don't want it. Just trim that properly. Take that little bit off that's hanging out. Always burnish the back of my tear and tape so it's stuck down nicely. Take the backing off, and I've just got a greeting to put on the front and a couple of stars to decorate. So that will just sit evenly. If you line it up with the DSP on the sides, fits nicely across there. And then I've got a greeting I'm going to pop up on dimensionals on the front, which I did get them out. I'll just put them along the centre. Centre that in there. And I've got some stars and some embellishments to do. I was going to put these stars on the inside actually. Just take that off. No, I'm not going to put them on the inside. I'm going to put them on the outside. I think that's the pattern in there. They'll get lost in that pattern. We'll just do a couple on the outside, and I'll put some embellishments on the top of them. I'm going to use glue dots for these. I think they'll fit a glue dot at the back perfectly. Put a couple around. Don't know if anyone noticed my glue dots. I rewind the roll quite a while ago, must be over 12 months ago now. They changed the rolling of the glue dots, where the glue dots were on this piece out here. I like them on here, so I've got a bit of stable to hold on to. And they changed them, so I rewind. It only takes me a couple of minutes, and I rewind my rolls. I just can't get used to doing it the other way. And that's just me. But I also found you lose, with the way they are now, just trying to work these so that they're scattered a bit. The way they are now, when you get to the end of the roll, the glue dots are stuck to the roll, so you lose about half a dozen at least glue dots, and that soon mounts up after a while because they're stuck to the cardboard, not to this. If they were the other way, they wouldn't. There'd be maybe one stuck in there, but not as many. I worked that out when I rewound them. It's just my little fantasy thing. I'll just put these little ones in the centre of these just to decorate. Cute little stars, and a couple of the bigger ones. I'll use these really big ones on the end of my greeting. I did stamp some little stars at the ends of my greeting just to decorate the bit. So that's it, all done. I hope you like that layout. Quite easy to do, and you can mix and match your colours. Congratulations, it says. And that's my inside. I might, I don't think it needs any more in there. You've got plenty of room at the back for your greeting. And as you see, this loosens up after a while. It goes on and off quite easily. And that's my other card. I hope you enjoyed that today. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe to my craft YouTube channel if you're not already subscribed. Love to have you on there. And don't forget to have a peek at my craft room tips and tutorials page. The tutorial for this will be up and running as soon as the video is recorded, as soon as it goes live. And I'll catch you all again next week. Have a lovely week. Bye for now.